Hey guys, it's Jane. It is the 29th of June, so it's been about a month since I posted my last video. I wanted to catch you guys up on some things that I've purchased since then, and some other goings on. I've been on vacation from work. I go back on July 5th, but I have spent some of that time thrifting, obviously, and my husband and I went to Ocean City for a few days, and I went to a couple antique stores there, and then I checked in with the local consignment shop that I've been working with, and picked up a couple things there. So, just wanted to go over that stuff. And yeah, so the first thing I wanted to talk with you about, I don't know, these I've had for a little while, but I don't know if I ever mentioned them. But a lady was giving them away, and I thought they would be really cute for like a summertime picnic. It's a set of, I have a set of 7, but I didn't obviously want to bring, 7 of the glasses in here. And we're in my bedroom because my husband's watching baseball, and I didn't want to disrupt what he was doing, so that's why everything's on the bed. My dog's over there snoozing. But anyway, so I had 7 of these glasses, and I was going to use them for like a picnic, and they were just really, really cute. And yeah, so they're Libby, and I guess that's like gingham, like a gingham pattern you would call that, and they're just little juice glasses. But unfortunately, ultimately, I decided that I didn't have really enough room for these, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick them up on my Etsy. And a set of these can go for around $30, so they're up there now, so if anybody wants them, yeah, I just thought they were really cute because they've got like this picnicky pattern on them. So that was those. Next, I had gone to Goodwill just to walk around and look around at a few things. Didn't really find a whole lot, but I did pick this up without really knowing what it was. I just thought it was cool, and it was only a couple of dollars, so I bought that, and then I got home and did a little bit of research, and this is an art glass tile by a woman named Nina Cambron. And she does a bunch of different ones. She does them in different styles and colors and things like that, and they all have different sayings on them. And mine says, "And they lived happily ever after." And it's just really pretty, like the way that the light shines through, like if you put it on a windowsill or something. And it's just really, like I could just tell it had like a quality about it. And it's got some texture to it there, and some iridescence in some spots. But yeah, they had the Goodwill sticker on the back there, and then when I peeled the sticker off, it said, let me see if I can get it in the light there. See if it'll focus for you. My camera never focuses for you guys. But anyway, it says Cambron on it, and it was purchased originally from Don Drum Studios and Gallery. So yeah, when I looked that up, I found out that it was by this Nina Cambron person. So yeah, so like I said, I only paid like $2 for that, and some of her tiles can go for, $40 to $50. So we'll see how that does. For now, I just like it, so it's been sitting on my coffee table. Next thing was that same trip, I picked this little guy up. How cute is he? Well, I guess it's she, because she's got these like long, beautiful eyelashes. But anyway, yeah, she doesn't seem, I don't estimate that she'll go for a whole lot, maybe like 12 to 14, but she was a couple of dollars too, and she was just too cute to leave behind. Based on the paint and the coloring and everything like that, and the way the stopper looks, I assume she's vintage. I don't know how old she is, but she's hand painted. You can see like some of the paint is chipping off in some areas and things like that. But I just love her little pink blush cheeks and her eyelashes. and she's got all these little polka dots all over her. So I just loved her. So yeah, so you know, $12 to $14 I'm thinking, no big deal, but she was just too cute to leave behind. The next stop was when I had gone over to the consignment shop, because I think in my last video I had told you guys that I was going to be working with a local shop to bring some of my larger items over that I wasn't comfortable with shipping. And it was good because the items that I wanted to bring aren't really something that I've put a lot of money into, so I wouldn't have a problem with you know, paying the consignment shop part of the profit on the sales that they make there. So yeah, I went in just to kind of check up on things, and because I just recently started with them, so I wanted to go in since my last stop of dropping my items off and just kind of gauge like how they were doing the pricing and what everything like looked like and everything like that. So when I was there, I picked up a couple of things, and these are just mainly like for me. I haven't really posted them on any kind of resale website. These were just things I picked up because I thought they were interesting. But the first one I had seen the time previous, but it wasn't on sale, but this time it was. And it's a Monet candle holder by Goebel. And I think this painting is called A Mother with Her Son. But anyway, you can see like Claude Monet signature there. And I love Monet. I love Impressionist art, and he's one of my favorites. So yeah, when I went there last time, this was on sale for only, I think it was $3. So yeah, I picked that up. And they can go for around 18 to 20, but like I said, this was more just something for me. So I have a little artificial candle that I put in there. Let's see if I can turn that on. Ooh, pretty. So yeah, so that's been sitting on my my dresser. And then the next thing I came across, oh, hello. He just popped his little head right up. Hi. You want to say hello to everybody? You want to say hi, Charlie? You're so sweet. You look comfy over there. Yes, you do. But so the next thing I picked up, I just thought this was cool. And again, with knowing my Impressionist art, I recognize this as Van Gogh. And it's an absinthe spoon. So if you don't know what absinthe is, it's like this drink that used to be banned, and I think they lifted the ban at some point. But anyway, you put it into a cup, and then you put like a sugar cube, I think, on top of this, and then you set it on top of the cup, and then you're supposed to like burn the sugar so that it'll melt into the cup, and it'll like fall through the holes, and then you use this end to stir it up into the drink. So yeah, I've never come across anything like that, and it was only $1, so I put this little twist tie on it and hung it up on my kitchen wall, just because I thought that was neat. So yeah, and comps for that, they go for around $7 to $8, but again, I'm just going to hold on to it because I think it's really neat. And then the last thing I picked up, or no, I'm sorry, the next to last thing is this little moon. Because I know I had shown you guys before, at the same shop I found an Italian pottery yellow crescent moon, and I hung it up on my wall next to my side of the bed. So then since then I found another moon at Goodwill that was just a cheapo kind of thing, but it was pretty, it was hand painted and it was pretty. So then I found this one, so now I've decided that I'm making a moon wall. So I've got 3 moons up there. I don't know who makes this, but this was only $3 as well, I believe. And you know, I just picked it up because I liked the way it looked, and it's ceramic and everything. He's got a nice smile and dimple in his cheek and everything, so that was cool. So he's going to go up on my moon wall. The next thing was, and this was the last thing I bought, and this was what I was most excited about. If you guys have ever seen, I think Laura Caldwell on YouTube. She's a well-known thrifter, and she does a lot of traveling in her videos and things like that. She's picked these up before, and that was the only reason I recognized what this was, is because of her video. But this is a Mexican pottery candle holder, and the design of it is called the Tree of Life. And it's just gorgeous. It's got these birds on either side, these flowers, and these leaves sticking up, and it's just beautiful. And there was no breakage on it at all. And you see you've got the hole in the top there to put the candle. And so I had to have it, and it was only $12, and some similar to this have sold for close to $100. So when I saw that it was there and it was only $12, I had to grab that. Absolutely beautiful. And I think they become more valuable if they have like a signature, and obviously there's other ones that you can see, especially on the Laura Caldwell videos. Like I've said, she had picked up some that were like way larger and like more intricate, so they had like more leaves on them, more birds, more intricate design and stuff. So, you know, obviously the bigger and more detailed that they are, the more valuable they are. But yeah, I just thought that was lovely, so I took that and put it right in my curio cabinet when I got home. Awesome. So then, after that, like I said, my husband and I had gone to Ocean City for a few days. It was beautiful. We went and stayed at a place that was right on the beach. That's what I told him. I said, I don't care what we do, I just want to stay somewhere where I can just open the window and there's the beach. Right, Charlie? He's just staring at me like, why don't you give me attention? You're so sweet. Yes, you are. But so, yeah, so he definitely delivered on that. He found us the perfect place. It was like toward the end of the boardwalk, really peaceful in the morning. And I would wake up every morning, make a cup of coffee, and sit out on the balcony and just listen to the waves and watch the waves, and it was awesome. But anyway, before we got there, every time we go to Ocean City, we stop in Berlin, because I love Berlin. It's such a quaint little town, if you've never been. I think at one point they were named the coolest little town in America or something. But anyway, they've got antique shops and restaurants and boutiques and all that kind of stuff. So we went there, and there's a specific antique shop that I like to go to there that for whatever reason the name is escaping me right now. But unfortunately I didn't walk away with a whole lot, but I did find these little mushroom salt and pepper shakers, because those are just adorable, and I couldn't leave them behind. They're not antique, they're not even vintage, I think, because based on the stoppers and the way they look, I would say that they're newer. But you know, antique shops do that sometimes. They stick in like the modern stuff with the vintage, especially if it's like a vintage design, because you know, mushrooms used to be really a big thing back in the 70s. So, yeah, they were $8, and I had to have them. So again, that's, for now, they're just in my cabinet in the kitchen for me to enjoy, but maybe at some point I'll put them up for sale. They were just too cute, and they match my little piggy bank there. So those were cute. And then, let's see, the next thing was I ordered these from a woman online. I'm part of a group on Facebook where people can just sell things directly to you, which is great because that way you don't have to worry about fees or anything like that associated with, you know, like the resale platforms and stuff. So, yeah, so she was selling these little guys, and they were just too adorable, and I got them for $10 plus shipping. And look how tiny they are. They're just so cute. It's a little, it's a koala bear. And then, let me bring it into the light so you can see better. But yeah, koala bear, and then like this little porcupine looking guy. And then this little, she was calling it like, it was either a mouse or a cat. She couldn't tell. But very, very tiny. And then my absolute favorite that just sold me on the whole thing is this platypus. Because the platypus is one of my favorite animals. I mean, look how tiny that is and how adorable. And anyway, they're pottery, and they all have this little stamp in the bottom that says JC. And I tried my darnest to research and figure out who this JC person was, but I couldn't figure it out. So if any of you guys know who that might be, let me know. But yeah, those are going to just go in my curio cabinet with my other little animal collection. So, so cute. And then, the last thing was actually yesterday. My husband had taken me to a Goodwill that I've never been. And I found a few things there that I never really come across. I found a glass Fenton basket, a white basket with a silver crest that wasn't broken, because I've come across the baskets before, but they're always chipped. This one wasn't broken. I also found some hand-blown glass flowers. So, and then I found this. And ultimately I decided this was the thing I was going to buy, because unfortunately there was one of the flowers in the stack was broken. And then the basket, they were asking too much for it. So I went ahead and left those behind. This bad boy, though, could not leave this behind. Paid $10 for this. This is a mid-century modern ashtray. The shape of it, they call it a boomerang ashtray. And it's from California Pottery. It's got the stamp there. I don't know if you can see that, but it says Calif USA. And I love the glazing on it, the style on it, the coloring, everything. The only thing is it's got a few little tiny like flea bite chips in the paint on the edge there. But I could care less. Like, I didn't care. I said I have to have this. And yeah, again, this is another one I think I'm just going to hold on to for a little bit, enjoy, and then pass on to somebody when I feel like I'm getting tired of it. But who knows? Who knows when that will happen? So for now, that's on my coffee table. But isn't that just cool? And that was the thing. I never come across these in the wild, you know? I see them. I see other resellers pick them up. But I never see them for myself. So when I saw that yesterday, I was like, there's no way. I have to buy this. So that was really exciting. So the next few things I want to talk about is I had just gone recently to visit my nephew. We were hanging out and everything. He's been staying at my grandmother's house. My grandmother just recently passed away late last year. And so, and prior to her passing, he had been living with her. So he's still been over at the house and just kind of watching over things and, you know, cleaning up and things like that. And so I went over there to hang out with him and talk and all that because it had been a little while. But after a while, we had just kind of started looking around and getting nostalgic about things and sentimental and talking about memories and things like that. And he actually let me come away with a few things. So I wanted to show you those now. The first couple little things are these paperweights. They are acrylic. And the reason why I took these and I asked if I could have them is I used to play with these when I was little all the time. I don't know what it was about them that just fascinated me, but I used to just stare at them all the time. Though I guess it was like the way everything was kind of just suspended in the acrylic, and it was just like fat. Sorry about that, my video cut short. But anyway, yeah, I just used to play with them all the time and look at the little things in there. I distinctly remember looking at this one and feeling bad for this little bumblebee that was stuck in here. And like, obviously being as little as I was, I guess I just didn't realize that it was fake, because if you look at it now you can clearly see it's made out of pipe cleaners. But I just distinctly remember that, like, oh, this poor little bumblebee. But it's got these like little yellow flowers. So 70s. But it's so cool. And then this one, I always remember playing with this one. And it's got pennies in there, and they're all dated 1970. Which I thought was cool. But I said, oh, I remember those. I used to play with them all the time. And he was like, yeah, just take them. You know, they've been sitting here just collecting dust. So if you care about them, you might as well have them. So I thought that was nice. Very, very cool. The next thing was this little recipe box that I remember seeing sitting on her kitchen table. Or not kitchen table, her counter in the kitchen, and it's got these little things on the front here. You can see like the vinegar and oil bottles, and like the salad bowl and the lobster, and all of that. But the very, very coolest thing about this, she has all these old recipes in here and stuff. But the thing that just made me like so happy about this is she's got some recipes in here that are in her own handwriting. And I just thought that was so sweet. Let me find, I know there was one in here that had her handwriting. Let me see if I can find it. Where did you go? Let's see. Yeah, here we go. She's got a couple recipes. She's got one for fruit dip and one for barbecued limas. And that is definitely her handwriting. So I asked if I could have that. And then another one was cool. She actually typed this up on her typewriter. And I remember her having her typewriter in the living room, because I used to play with it. And you can see, like, it's actually, like, she's got this recipe card and she actually typed out the recipe on here. So that was cool. And then she's got other ones, like old, it's funny, she's got like old coupons in here, shake and bake, all that kind of stuff. So I might have to dig one of these out and try to make it, see how it comes out. I just made blueberry muffins today because our blueberries were going to start going bad, and I was kind of panicking about what to do, so I made blueberry muffins. But anyway, this, let's see, this says the Ohio Art Company is where this box is from. But yeah, I just thought that was super cool. So that's in my kitchen right now. And then the last thing that I was most excited about, which you guys could probably guess, is this. Check that out. And that was down, we were in the basement, and that was just kind of sitting on a bookshelf, and I was like, I kind of gasped. I was like, oh, look at that. It's so cool. Because, you know, I have, like, this fascination for vintage glass. And I don't have anything like this yet. I don't have any amber glass stuff. So when I saw that, I called my sister, and I asked her if I could have this. And she said, yeah, I think that would be a cool thing for you to have, because she knows I love this kind of stuff. But yeah, it was sitting there on a bookshelf in the basement, just getting all dusty and gross. And I said, I know, like, as soon as that thing gets cleaned up, it's going to be gorgeous. It is quite large. And I'm not 100% sure on the maker, but I've asked a couple of my vintage glass group people, and they said it could be Empoli, but not 100% sure. And yeah, that is definitely going to be staying with me. That is at least 50 years old, and I just think it's amazing. It doesn't have any chips or cracks or breakage to it at all. So yeah, that's been sitting in my living room on my printer table. So yeah, that's where that's going to stay. And I just thought that was so cool. But yeah, that was a really nice time. My nephew and I had a really, really nice time hanging out. And I'm going to be going over there again soon. And hanging out. And we're just going to clean up a little bit more. I'm going to help him clean. And we're going to go through some other things and talk about Grandma some more. So I think it'll be really nice. So yeah, so last thing I want to show you as far as like things that I've gotten since the last video. This is going to be a collection of artwork that was done by my Aunt Cheryl. So she, her husband, which is my uncle, passed away some years ago, and she had been doing this artwork for a while, and some of her artwork had even been featured in a couple of restaurants around the Annapolis area. And I remember seeing it, like I remember seeing her name on the pieces and thinking like, oh wow, I didn't even know she did this kind of stuff. But so anyway, recently on Facebook it was posted that Aunt Cheryl was going to be giving away all these art pieces for this other artist to kind of reuse her canvases if she wanted to. And the artist said, no, I'm not going to paint over these. These are beautiful. Like, why would I ruin these? So basically this artist decided to hold a event where she sold off all of these pieces of art that Aunt Cheryl did. And basically she gave the money to my aunt, which I thought was really, really sweet. And it was going to be held in downtown Annapolis. And so I said, like, I'm totally there. Like, I love her stuff. I've seen it at the restaurants before. I love her work. And knowing the fact that it wasn't going to be too pricey, it would be in my budget. So I wanted to support her and support the show and everything. So I went ahead and went, and it was really nice. And I ended up picking up 4 pieces of her art. So I wanted to go ahead and show you that now. Okay, so the last bit I wanted to talk to you about was the items that have sold since my last video. Not a terrible lot of sales this time, but still wanted to go ahead and show you what sold. So the first thing is this Currier and Ives print. I had gotten this from an old friend who had she just had like a box of these vintage and antique items that someone had given to her, and she decided to just unload them. She didn't want them anymore. So this was one of the things that was in there. It's called Golden Morning. It's just got this beautiful coloring on it. I love the design, the flowers and the butterflies. It's got a hummingbird on it. And it was cool because it was kept in the plastic, and it was against this like thicker like poster board in the back, so there's no creasing on it or damage to the paper or anything. So I sold that on eBay for $20 plus shipping. Next thing was this little tea set that I picked up. I had talked about this in a previous video. I picked these up at Goodwill. Little dragonfly and teapot and mug. And I believe I paid $6.50 total for both, because they always price their mugs at 50 cents, and the teapot itself was $6. There wasn't any damage to it or anything. and it's from the 90s by a designer named April Cornell, and it says right on the bottom there, 1999. I sat on that for a little while, but that ended up selling for $38 to an international buyer. So that was good. I just love dragonflies. And then the last thing, which was the most profitable item, was, again, I had spoken about this in, I think, my first video that I ever posted, so it's been a while that I sat on this, but I purchased this for $3 and ended up selling it for $53. And I think I had spoken about it in the video. I don't normally pick up stuff like this. You know, I'm mainly more about the vintage and the glass and ceramic and stuff like that. But what intrigued me about it was the fact that, A, it still seemed like it was pretty much brand new. Like, it's got the plastic on it, on the zippers. I opened it up and it still had this little booklet inside. So it was never used. And it's Swarovski. And I know that that can be a profitable brand. And I saw that it had these like Swarovski crystals on the front of it and everything. Really, really nice. So it's a jewelry case. So it was only $3, so I figured I would take a chance on that, pick that up, and found out that it sells for around $50 to $60. So just sold that recently on Poshmark for $53. So that's a great turnaround. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, which has not sold yet, but it is going to be selling, hopefully, in the next couple of days, is this t-shirt. I bought this out of a lot of t-shirts from shopgoodwill.com, and it's a My Chemical Romance shirt from the early 2000s. And I know that the early 2000s stuff is like really in right now. So when I saw this in the lot, that's why I purchased the lot, was just for this specific t-shirt. Because none of the other ones really had, you know, a big profit margin. But the whole lot of t-shirts was only $20 total, including shipping. So when I had seen this, I researched it, and the last one sold, I think, last year for like $140. So I went ahead and put it up here, took some pictures and slapped it up on eBay, and it's going to be running at auction on July 1st, and it's got 13 watchers on it right now, which is a good sign. So the starting price, I went ahead and put it up there, is $129.99. So that's going to be the cheapest that anybody's going to be able to buy it for if they want it. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll update you guys on that sale. So that's pretty exciting. So yeah, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.